All right, good afternoon. Welcome to the New York session. I hope you're doing well. Okay. Today's Thursday, the 26th of June, 2025. And we are here again with myself looking at what price is likely going to do. So looking at the dollar index, we have traded to our targets for the week. We had price moving lower during the New York session into the it touched exactly the 97.27 level and gave a bounce, and then we resumed going lower. So for this week, I think the downside objective is enough. We can't continue going down from where we are. Now we have some news event coming in the next 30 minutes. So that can either be used to continue going down, or it can be used to reverse price. So let's go on to the higher time frame and see, because right now we've exhausted the lower time frame targets. Let's go to the daily and let's look on that side. So from the daily perspective, the next downside potential objective will be this volume imbalance, then this low, that fair value gap over there. From the weekly perspective, that gap, and then from the monthly perspective, it's a monthly volume imbalance. So I think the 96.76 level is probable. Okay, 96.76 level, and that area looks to me like OTE. Let me see. Yeah, that area looks to me like OTE. So if we drive in there, we might maybe get some reaction. Let me double check quickly. I'm just double checking the seasonal tendencies to see what is likely for the dollar index going into the month of July. I think it's a down movement for the month of July. Yeah, it's a down movement for the month of July, with the first week of July being a bullish market, or towards the end. So between today and the first week of July, there's an up movement. There's a potential up movement when it comes to the seasonal tendency. So with that said, then there's a likelihood that they might use that level, which is the 96.76 level. That's a volume imbalance and a weekly fair value gap. They can use that level to send price back up. So back to the weekly, which is somewhere here, and then back to the daily, which is where we at roughly. So during this New York session, I would want to see one more push to the downside with the news event coming in the next 20 minutes or 22 minutes. I want to see a move back down again. So we'll be expecting maybe a shift in the market on the lower time frame. So on the 15 minutes time frame or even the 5 minutes time frame, you're gonna start looking for the order flow to shift. So what I mean by is down candle to give up, or fair value gap, bearish fair value gap to form whilst we are going down. Okay. So within the next hour and two, you're gonna be expecting a fair value gap to form, reject, and then you can then go on to euro. I like euro. Okay, I like euro. Not so much on pound, because pound did leave clean equal lows in here, and euro was able to give a nice impulse leg away from this order block, right? And it has a fair value gap over here. So I like the euro for this afternoon for potential trade to the upside to come back up here. So with the 1:30 news event coming in later, I would want to use that to send price back up here. Okay, so this is what I'm expecting. To go back up, right? But obviously we're gonna respect time, hence it's up to you if you wanna buy it now. But I like maybe at 2 o'clock, that's when I would like to get in, or the 15 minutes to at least give me a shift. That's if we close above the last down candle, then I'll buy it. Okay, so that's potentially a trade for the day. Like I said, I don't like the British pound. It can go up as well, but I prefer the euro for today. Structure wise, I prefer the euro. Pound can also go up, but you have to use maybe a different entry technique, or wait for New York session. Let them give you something similar to yesterday, right? Yesterday I think I said we were going to go up from here, and they did that nicely. I'm actually going to buy. All my trades have closed. Nice big move for yesterday. So I'm done on the British pound. Now my attention is on euro. If you want to trade it, wait for something like this, right? We have an impulse, leaving a fair value gap, you buy that one. Dollar yen. So dollar yen, yesterday we spoke about price rejecting from that daily inverted fair value gap, and I said wait for the 1 hour to give you an immediate close right here. I did, and I went short, took partial below this low, and the rest I am aiming for somewhere down here. I'm aiming for somewhere down there, which comes in at the 14382, and then obviously the 142.115. Now this New York session, we can also potentially get another trade idea, but I'm waiting for a confirmation. Similar to euro, I'm looking for an immediate close on the M15, a fair value gap to form. I like the area that we are right now. It's not a bad area to short. Okay, it's not a bad area to short. Yeah, this was a target, and that is done. So this is also a target here. So ultimately that's the target, right? And these are partial levels. So 143.65, 143.38, then 142.79, then finally 142.11. These are potential downside objectives. So even if we go beyond that, you're still looking for a sell to continue going lower. I don't think it should do that because you have these up candles in here. So price should stay below that and then continue going down. So you have, two pairs that can give you some nice trade ideas for today: euro and dollar yen. Gold can also continue going down. I think we've traded into a fair value gap and we are rejecting. We had an immediate close here, right? So a little bit out of the time of the day for me, but I went short anyway because that was a nice area to sell short. We hit the daily gap. So if we go back to the daily, this is the daily gap, and then we have the immediate close right here. This candle pulls back, that takes out the high, fair value gap, rejection. So I'm short here with my stop above that, and I'm expecting them to continue going down for the equal low. Remember, I talked about these lows being equal. That is where I'm targeting. So let's see if price can, go there during the New York session. If we come back above my opening, if we come back above my entry price, then the trade is not valid anymore. Then I'll move to the sidelines. Okay, so if we go back to my entry, especially if they closes above it, then I'll actually close the trade because maybe they want to reach a little bit higher before they start coming back down. Crude oil. Yesterday we had a nice rejection off from the level that I gave. It took out a London session high, immediate close in here. We pulled back to it today, and then rejection, and we've pulled back, and we're seeing a rejection again. I think we're supposed to be going down. So next downside objective is this candle's low, this one here. Maybe it will cause a pullback after that because we have a nice New York session impulse leg here. So it's not going to be easy for price to trade down. We might get some resistance in here. Hence, be aware. If you sell short, if you start getting some form of reaction in here, which I will suggest, if you are short, take something off there, put your stop loss to break even, and then you can let the rest do what it wants to do. Okay. All right. So that is that. ES, we finally run for that 61678. Not the best move to go and attack it because they did manipulate it down first before going up, but that's always in the cards because I've mentioned it several times. Before price goes and attack a major high, sometimes it will pause just to throw everybody off, and then eventually it attacks it. So I'm not surprised to see the kind of rejection that price gave before going for the high. All right, so my bias on the ES is now done. I don't have any bias now because price has fulfilled everything that I'm expecting, which is to go up here. Now, do we immediately reject or do we continue? I don't know. So today, New York session will decide that. Possibly a rejection. Why? Because we started a week and then we ran up first. So looking at the power of 3, this New York session is likely gonna form the high of the week. All right, so expect some rejection, potentially rejection. It's an idea, okay? It's not a definite. So expect potential rejection. If by 2 p.m. you see price give an aggressive move, the first down close candle, you want to sell the next one that opens, because this level is a very, very strong level. It's the all-time highs, right? We've come back to all-time highs again. So it's either they go aggressive above it or reject aggressively, which I think they might reject. So watch it for a potential rejection, because the way price has been approaching it, it's not aggressive enough. So at 2 p.m. within the next 39 minutes, you want to see a rejection, pull back, sell, or the rejection, the first down close candle, you sell the very next one. Okay, moving on. We've got about 9 minutes, so yeah, enough time to go on to the crypto market. Let's start with the Bitcoin market. So with Bitcoin, you can see prices moving up nicely. We had a big move yesterday. Now 11068, as I mentioned, is the draw on liquidity. So this might maybe form a reaccumulation today, and then we resume going up. Watch the H4. If we get the next up close candle to close above a down candle, as soon as that happens, you're buying again, because it looks like it's accumulating in here. Okay, price is accumulating in here. I don't know how far down they can take it. We have a nice gap over here, so that's how far down they can take it. Or they can come back to this candle's high and then pause there before resuming going up. So on the H4, you're actually looking for one down candle, one immediate up candle, and then you can look for an entry to continue going up to the 1. Let me put it on that level properly. Yeah, to go to the 110651 level. Okay, so watch. Now that will translate to Ethereum doing the same. I think we've traded back down to an order block here, so keep an eye on it, because if Bitcoin starts shooting up, Ethereum will do the same thing. Hence, I want to see this down candle hold. Let me zoom in and check. Yeah, so they did run some stops here before going up. So the range is this low to that high, and you're back down again. So buying is not bad idea, roughly somewhere here with a stop below this range low, or probably put it between the 79 between the 88.6 to the 0. If you divide that into 2, somewhere roughly here, you can put your stop loss there and then expect a continuation to the upside. Okay. All right. So that is that for Ethereum. Hype, not the best. We had a nice rejection off from that level, big drop. So I think we'll be dropping down further. It's a nice fair value gap to sell short at, and then target this low, and then this imbalance in here. Okay, so Ethereum, hype, you're looking for lower prices to attack. Choose this low and trade back into this imbalance. XRP, let's go to the daily. Okay, so it looks like XRP might also drop down into that gap. Okay, that's what it's looking like. Because it took our previous day's high, rejected, and so far we've taken our previous day's low. We've not got any rejection yet, so they might want to come for the Tuesday's low before resuming going up. So watch that. Once we dip into it, it's gonna be an accumulation. I don't think it's a sell, a distribution, because of this equal high. So they might be accumulating long to go up there. But all eyes on Bitcoin. Okay, when Bitcoin does what I'm saying, which is dropping here and start rejecting, Ripple, I don't know where it will be by that time, but it will respond to the Bitcoin bullishness. Okay, but this is the level that you want to keep an eye on if we keep dropping. Chachki. Okay, so Chachki did trade into the fair value gap yesterday, and a nice rejection that has now created an auto block. Nice one. So that can also be used to continue going higher. Back candles low 0.00011198. That would be the next draw on liquidity from this down candle. Okay, so very nice price action over here. On the lower time frame, this how it looks like. So similar to all the pairs that I've talked about so far, the ones trading into the gap, you want to look for something like this, right? A down candle with a sharp move back up again from the gap. The next candle, just buy it. Put your stop loss below the up candle's low or the down candle's low. Anyway, then expect price to move higher. When you do it, just leave it alone. Okay, so just to recap, here if you drop in there, that's something you can look for. Here, that's something that you can look for, even on the H4. Then I think I've already spoke about Bitcoin, and then Solana. Now AI16Z, it's got me a little bit worried because we've managed to trade through that imbalance right in here, and when that happens, most of the time they'll want to go for the candles low, which is on the daily. So as it stands, based on the logic that I use, it seems that we might go back and attack this low here, because they couldn't sustain the imbalance. Okay, so another one more run to 0.1274 is possible before we go up. All right, let's quickly go and check the news event, and then we come back. It's almost 1:30. Okay, so it looks like euro is the best one to look at for. Right, we've had a sharp move away, so I think euro will be a great one to watch for the New York session. So after 2, watch the euro, right, because it might give a nice move back up here. Yeah, let's go back to AI16Z and finish off the narrative. So not until we get a move back above the imbalance, because now this has become an inverted fair value gap. So not until we get a move back above it, 1274, it's likely gonna be a drawn liquidity. Okay, so yeah, let's see. Think they might even form a low of the week if they go for this low and then reject and come back up again. So that's that for the AI16Z. I think Solana, I've talked about it. Watch the gap. If we hit it, look for immediate rejection on the H4, then look for the longs. Now, I said it several times, if I was to choose between cryptos and currencies, I'll choose currencies all day long. Okay, that's my personal choice, and I know why I'm saying that, because they are very easy, predictable. Cryptos are not. Take it from me, cryptos are not. So if you wanna have peace of mind, I'm not saying stop trading cryptos, but combine them. Do a bit of cryptos and do a bit of currencies, fiat currencies, a bit of gold and a bit of oil, and then look at euro USD, pound USD. There's a reason, and maybe I cannot exhaust the reason here, but there's a reason, and that reason is price is not random. Okay, price is not random, but it's random on some pairs. Okay, it's random on some pairs on the way it delivers price on them, because majority carries the vote. So if a lot of people are looking at it, then there's going to be chaos, because that's where they're gonna move price in a way that will upset most people. Where the crowd is, the head mentality is steadied. So wherever most of the traders are right now, most of them will be wrong because it's a herd mentality. Alright, that's all I can say for now. So I'll touch base with you all next week, Tuesday, because like I mentioned, I'm not here tomorrow and Monday. So you have a long weekend to go. And yeah, have fun, enjoy yourself, and I'll see you when I come back. We are going into the month of July. It's similar to June, not the best trading month because of a lot of consolidation. So don't kill yourself by trying to be right. Be nimble. If you get something, take it, move to the sidelines, and then gradually the consolidation period will be over, and then price will expand again. That's from September going. Okay, so have a wonderful day. I'll see you all next week, Tuesday. Take care.